Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing me for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Acing, and here I share insights on education, career advancement and personal development. Today on career advancement, we are talking about applying and getting into graduate school abroad. So if you're interested in knowing what exactly you need in order to apply to graduate school abroad and get admission, you need to stay tuned and watch this video till the end. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I encourage you to do so because there is so much to learn in this channel. Okay, let's get it started. Applying to graduate school has a lot of considerations. You need to consider so many factors, and because I love you, I had to painstakingly sit back and extract all the factors, all the things you need to consider before you take that journey. So let's say that you want to go to graduate school in the next 1 year. I got you covered. I've been able to identify all the things you need to consider in order to make your journey easier. So you need to sit back and watch this video. The very first thing is for you to consider what you studied in your undergraduate degree. Applying to school abroad, when it has to do with your postgraduate studies, it will always fall back to what you studied in your undergraduate degree. You cannot study law in undergraduate degree and you want to do engineering in your postgraduate degree. It's not going to work. But if you study law in undergraduate, you can actually do courses like psychology, sociology, human relations, leadership, things like that. But it would be difficult if you did a pure science course and you want to further in an arts-based course, or if you did an art-based course, you want to now switch to social sciences. Some schools actually give a little room so that you could work your way through. If you didn't study that particular course in your undergraduate degree, they'll give you grounds. Maybe they'll tell you to take certain exams so that you may qualify to pursue your postgraduate degree in the course that was not your core focus in your undergraduate degree. So when you're done with that, when you're done with considering the course you would like to study based on your undergraduate degree, you're going to consider your passion. Fine, it's good to pursue a postgraduate degree, but then what are you going to use it for? You shouldn't just proceed to studying or going ahead with a postgraduate degree when you don't know what you want in life. You don't know your purpose, you don't know your passion, you don't know your dreams, you don't know your vision in this life. About mission. Hold on. So when you know what you want in life, it is always easier to go ahead with a postgraduate degree. What do I mean? You need to research. Like a master's degree or a PhD, as the case may be, is about research. You have to research more about a field that you're interested in so that you identify the problems in that field and possibly provide solutions. So if you don't know what you want, if you're not passionate about either of the problems we have in this country, how will you help us with your master's degree? Okay, what I am actually trying to say in essence is that while choosing your postgraduate course, you should identify with your passion. It should be something that aligns with your goals in life, your passion, with your interests. For instance, I'm passionate about peace and conflict resolution, and I chose a postgraduate studies in international and comparative dispute resolution. So you see the correlation, right? And I studied law, and that course is under LLM. If I wanted to do that same course in social sciences, I could still qualify for it because some schools actually put law under their humanities, others actually put law under social sciences. So you see how you have to work around your undergraduate degree and your passion. The next step is for you to research possible schools that offer your course of interest. And when you research, you have to really go in depth about the course modules. You may see a course that carries a title that you admire, but then it might not really cover what exactly you want. So while researching for the schools that offer your course, please, when you see the courses, you have to open them up, like check the course contents and see if it actually aligns with what you want for your postgraduate degree. When you identify all the schools, the next thing for you to do is to narrow down. You may see up to 10 schools, 20 schools online while searching for schools that offer your course. You can't apply to all of them. You would definitely have to narrow it down to about 5 or 6 that really suits what you want. How do you identify the best 5 or 6 schools to apply to? I would advise you to thoroughly consider these 5 factors while trying to select a school for your postgraduate studies. You have to consider the country. What is the location of that school? Where is the school located? Is it UK? Is it Canada? Is it US? That's number 1. Because you have to go to a school that is in a country that you really want to go. If you have a course, if your course is in Australia and it's very good, and you don't want to go to Australia, would you just run and probably just discard all you want simply because you found a course of your choice? You have to choose the university that is in a country that you really want to go to. The next factor you have to consider is the funding, the school fees. How much is it? If you're the one sponsoring yourself, you really need to consider this, because the school fees for international students are always on the high side. So you really want to compare between schools. Which school can I afford their fees? Which one can I not? If I cannot afford their fees, can I get funding? Do they have internal funding in school, or do they have scholarship provisions for international students? So even if a school might be very expensive, they may actually have programs and colleges that may be able to subsidize your fees and the funds or the amounts involved in your study. So that way, you know that okay, I could raise 50% of the funds, and the school will assist me with the other. So that is another factor that you need to consider while applying to graduate school abroad. The next item or the next factor is for you to consider the eligibility requirements. Schools have different eligibility requirements for different courses. Okay, a particular course might require that you have a first class, while other course might require that a second class lower division is enough. Okay, so you need to consider the eligibility requirement. Am I qualified to apply to this course? There is no gain in applying to a school that you are not qualified to. I feel like it is just a waste of time and energy and your resources. So you really need to calm down, go through the eligibility requirements. Am I expected to write an English language test? Am I expected to write a GRE, GMAT? Am I supposed to, take pre-English language classes? Things like that. Do I have all the documents that they need? Do I have my transcript? Until you are sure that you can meet that requirement, then you can go ahead and apply. If you are not sure of meeting a particular requirement that a school requires, you can actually send the admissions unit an email, okay, or the course advisor for that course. You can send them an email seeking for clarifications, and they will always give you their response. Another thing you need to consider while choosing a school is their ranking. Are they number 500 on the list? There are different types of rankings. There are world rankings, there are country rankings, maybe ranking by research. There are different rankings. So if you are interested about the reputation of the school you are going to, then you have to consider the school's ranking before applying to it. One last thing, okay? One last thing you have to consider is, are they internationally friendly? There are some schools that brag about the fact that once you open their website, you see, we welcome international students every year. They will even give you their country advisor. Like for instance, coming from Nigeria, they will immediately take you to the page where they have their Nigeria country advisor, student advisor. Looking at their website, reading about what they stand for, you will be able to identify if they are friendly to international students. It is always very unfair to go to a school that do not really welcome international students. If you're the only international student there, you may not like it. So please be careful while selecting your schools. After you've considered those 5 things, I want to believe that now you're ready to narrow down your schools to either 5 or 6 that you want to apply to. So I advise that you out of the 6, 2 should be like a very high ranking school, very competitive, the one that you feel like maybe is very competitive for you. The other 2 should be the ones that you know that you are extremely qualified for and you can get it. The other 2 should be maybe the one that probably is not your best option, but then it's still good. That's how you mix the schools that you are applying to. So now that you've chosen the schools that you're applying to and you've identified all the requirements, you need to start getting your documents ready. If they want you to write an English language test, you need to register for it so that you can work towards writing it. Get your documents ready, get your transcripts, get your reference letters. I actually have a video on references, so after this video you can do well to watch the video on references so that you can learn how to obtain your references and who your ideal referee should be. So you need to get all your documents ready. You need to start on time, because you may think you still have enough time, but when you have to do with dealing with your undergraduate school, getting them to give you documents, maybe letters of references, your transcript, these things do not just happen overnight. They take some time. So you need to start ahead and process your documents and get them ready. Please note that deadlines for international students are always a bit forward, so you need to check what their deadline is. If you don't submit your application on the deadline that is approved for international students, you may not be qualified for the internal funding from school. So these are the things that you need to put into consideration while working on your documents. So I advise you to work on your documents ahead of time. Get your documents ready so that once the application is open, you just apply and submit your application so that you can benefit from all funding opportunities that may be available to you as an international student. If you select a school that requires that you write certain tests like English language tests, GMAT, you need to be able to identify the test score that they want. Like for IELTS, based on your course, they could say 5 points is okay, others will say overall 7.5, and so you need to identify what the score they want before you write this exam so that you can prepare and give the best for it. I hope you're learning from this video. If you've had experience applying to graduate school, let us know in the comment section. Let us know what your experience was like. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section. Kindly like this video. Give this video a thumbs up because you're learning from it. Also share to people you know that this video will help. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly subscribe to this channel while learning from my videos. Now that you've identified all the requirements and have applied to write the exams and everything, the different tests that they want, this is the time to approach your referees. You shouldn't wait until the application is open before you now approach your referees that I need you to write me a reference letter. When it has to do with dealing with referees, you need to give them ample time. If you watch my video on reference, you'll understand what I mean. So this is the time. The preparation time is actually when you contact your referees. You just tell them that being that you gave me the go-ahead to put your name down as my referee, I'm going to apply to the school, and the application opening is going to be on so and so date, and I would like you to kindly drop me a reference letter. You know, based on the requirements of the school, some schools will say that you should upload the reference letter while submitting your applications. Others prefer contacting your referee alone. So based on the requirement from the school, you should let your referee know ahead of time so that you will get your reference letter and it will not be like a delay to you submitting your application in good time. The next step is for you to actually begin your application. Some schools direct that you applied on directly on the website. Other schools direct that you download the application form, fill it on your own, and then upload it back to them. You need to start your application, because if you don't start writing your application, if you don't start filling your application form, you may not know some of the requirements. Okay, there are some websites or some schools that will not allow you to preview the entire application before you start filling the form. If it's a school like that, you just need to start filling the form, so that when it gets to a portion that you need to supply extra information, or you need to go write an essay and come back, you will know, copy out the essay and then go and write. Okay, then when you are filling your application, I'll advise you, when it has to do with essays, always write it out in another page. Like, use a plain MS Word sheet to write your essay down, and then copy it and paste on the site. You don't want to write your essay directly on the website, and then maybe you're trying to refresh the page and the essay is gone. You have to write all over again. But when you write it on a different page, you write it and save, and then just copy and paste. Then that will help you. Another thing for you to note is that always restrict yourself to the word count required in your application. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if you write your essay in a different page and you exceed the word count, when you copy your essay and you want to paste in your application, it is going to stop at the exact word count. So if you're not careful, you're going to miss out so many parts of the remaining parts of your essay. So always endeavor to restrict your writing to the word count approved in the application letter. Okay, so most schools always ask for personal statements or statements of purpose while applying. In fact, almost all graduate school will ask you to upload a statement of purpose or a personal statement while submitting your application. They will also give you a word limit. So if it is a school that expects you to upload your personal statements as a document, do not forget to convert it into a PDF format. Please. Other schools will just give you a space in the application form for you to copy and paste. That one, you can't convert it into a PDF. But a school that requires you to upload your personal statement as a document, make sure that you convert it into a PDF file, so that what you write is what they get at their own end. When you are done compiling all your documents, you have your reference, you have your transcript, you have your degree certificate, you have to scan all those documents, and then you have to upload them to the application. Please always endeavor to use a checklist. You don't want to miss a document that is required for your application when you are submitting it. Like I said, when you start your application on time and you are submitting way before the deadline, you will be calm enough to actually use a checklist to confirm that you have submitted all the documents required. But when you are almost out of time, you will be so tense that I remember some of the experiences I had. You will be so tense that whatever happens, you don't care. You just want to submit the application. Forgive me, guys. There's actually one application that I was caught in that web. I submitted like 2 minutes to the time. I think it was actually a scholarship application. It wasn't a school application. One school application, I submitted like 30 minutes to the time, to the deadline. Is it 30 minutes or like 10 minutes to the deadline? Another one was a scholarship application. I submitted like 2 minutes. 2 minutes to the time, and you know what it means. I was so tense. I was trying to upload the documents and it would not answer me. Oh my god. I was almost going crazy in the office that day. And then I thought that it was like other random applications that you would just be uploading the documents one after the other. But this particular one, they said you should put all your documents and scan it into one PDF. And I had 2 minutes to go. I didn't see that until when I got to the end of the application where they said upload documents. I had to go and gather all my documents to upload it in one PDF. And I had like 2-3 minutes to go. People, you don't want to go through such experience. So please, always try to submit your application like 1 week to the deadline, so that if there is any error, you can have time to even re-upload. Use a checklist. But if you submit at the nick of time, there's no remedy for you. Okay, so now that you've known everything you need for your graduate school application, I'm glad that you've learned something. After you have submitted your application, that is a very good time to start sourcing for funding. If you want to sponsor yourself to the postgraduate school, that's fine. You don't have to stress yourself. But if you need funding to to go for postgraduate school, that is the right time. Once you have submitted your application, you immediately start sourcing for funding. I'm definitely going to do a video on different available scholarships and fundings for international students. Like, I have so much and I can't keep it to myself. I have to share it with you guys because you're so precious to me, you know. So that will be the time for you to actually source for funding. If you've watched this video till the end, you are the real MVP, and I know that you've learned something. Kindly give this video a thumbs up and let me know your experience in the comment section. Have you applied to a postgraduate school, or are you in the process of applying? What were your challenges? What were your experience? Or do you think I have omitted any fact in this video that you would like us to know? Kindly share your experiences in the comment section. And if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, I encourage you to do so while learning from my videos. Hey, where are you going? Keep watching, keep watching. Oh, no, I love you.